I was attending a Sufi camp in Mendocino, California, and at the conclusion of the camp, each of us was given a darshan with pure vilayat in the redwood trees with the sunlight streaming through. And when I went up there dutifully for my darshan, I remember him saying to me, among other things, "You should seek initiation in a Hindu sect." So I was traveling back across the United States back to Rhode Island, and I stopped at the Lama Foundation on a Sunday, and Ram Dass was there. So with great excitement, I went to him and kneeled before him. He was sitting there talking to some other people, and I asked him what he thought of Pir Vilayat's advice. And he paused for a long 45 seconds, and then he finally said, "You know, I don't know that he can see into your being in that way, but if you should find yourself in Nainital this summer, look for KK Shah. I mean SL, I guess it was SL or ML, one of them. Anyway, at the Evelyn Hotel." So I was so excited, I drove back to Rhode Island, sold my van, got on an airplane and went to Nainital. And the following morning, went down to Kenchi and was so excited. I was sitting there in front of the tucket, and there were a number of people there, and they had put fruit and offerings on the tucket. And out came Maharaji with this big bang of the door, and his blanket was flying, and he sat down in the tucket, and he looked to me like he was chewing gum, but I later discovered that he was saying Ram, 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 Ram. And the first thing he said to me, he looked at me and said, "You come from America?" And I think Krishna Das and Balaram were translating, and I said, "Yes, I did." And they said, "How do you like it here in America? Here in India?" And I said, "Oh, I like it, it's just great, I love it." And then he says to me, "Is that your girlfriend?" And he points to Uma, who was sitting next to me. And I turned and looked at her, and she looked just like my girlfriend back in the States. And I was very confused, and I said, "Well, yeah, no, yes, no, not really, but she looks like her." And then I looked at him, and he looked at me, and all of a sudden, this heat began to build in the base of my spine, and I felt like I was on an elevator, and this rush just went right up my spine, and it was very euphoric and ethereal. And he gazed at me, and I caught his gaze, and there was like these waves of light coming out of his eyes. It was palpable. You could almost touch it, like. And I thought, this is why I came to India. This is the most extraordinary thing. And then somebody said, "Jao, go eat breakfast." And I said, "I'm not hungry. I'm staying right here." And they said, No, you don't understand. You have to go." I said, "But I don't want to go. I don't need to eat. This is all I need." Nevertheless, I went and ate breakfast. For the next